Today I'm doing a video about life purpose. It seems to be something that everybody wants to know. What's my purpose? What am I here to do? So today I'm going to show you how life purpose is actually individually and personally built into our life journey, and how our life purpose actually unfolds naturally as our frequency increases. Let's have a look at how life purpose unfolds. We start at the top with thoughts and ideas. We think that thoughts and ideas are something that we create, that we have control of. But actually, thoughts and ideas are given to us, are attracted into our mind for us to choose. They are 100% customized for us to be able to choose what we want to focus on. So we might think that we are this body, but really all we are is a concept or idea on the mental plane, and that concept or idea is that we have choice as to what we focus on. So as a human being, really our main responsibility and the main way that we control our reality is by choosing on the thoughts that we want to focus on. At the end of the day, we really only have two choices. Despite all the infinite possibilities and potentials that are around us, really every thought and idea is giving us two choices: fear or faith. Let's have a look at the fear side. Fear is what we might deem to be lower frequency, or we might call it darkness. But basically, any negative feeling or emotion that comes from the human body is rooted in fear. As an example, if you're angry, it's most likely based on something like a fear of being unsafe, or a fear of not being good enough, or feeling that you're being attacked. Guilt might be a fear of not being good enough or being wrong. So every negative emotion that we have always comes back to fear or darkness. And all negative emotions and thoughts that we focus on all come back to faulty or limiting beliefs. And the main faulty beliefs that are at the root of choosing negative thoughts to focus on are: one, that we don't believe or know that we're creators. So we don't realize that the frequency that we're putting out is actually attracting our reality to us. And we don't realize that reality is fluid and flexible and different for everybody. And that we, therefore, by controlling our frequency, have some semblance of influence over the reality that we perceive. So if we don't know that we're creators, and we keep putting out this negative frequency, and we don't realize that reality is a feedback system for us to see our negative frequency and to try to increase it, then we get stuck in a loop. We basically end up going back from fear and getting more ideas and more thoughts given to us so that we can continue to be given the opportunity to choose differently. And this is the problem, because the less we see this, is that this starts to snowball. It escalates, and I think a lot of people are realizing it now. We are getting shown our fears over and over and over again until we understand that we have the choice to choose differently. Now, the other thing that happens is that if we have a low frequency, and we're always focusing on these thoughts of fear and attack and violence and anger or whatever it is, we have to be weak creators. The reason we have to be weak creators is because if our thoughts create our reality, or I should say if the thoughts that we focus on create our reality, then if we were given powerful creative abilities, we would pretty much destroy ourselves and destroy the world. So when you have a low frequency, you have to be a weak creator. And what's interesting is, as we start to make different choices in what we focus on, our creative abilities start to increase. So let's look at the other side over here. So the opposite of fear is not actually courage, it's actually faith. And I heard a really good definition of faith the other day, which is that faith is using the will to choose to know that everything is going to be okay. So you're actually using your free will to trust and surrender to what life is giving you. And that's where we understand that all of the thoughts and ideas that are being given to us are being given to us for our advantage. They're being given to us to choose differently. And that also includes all of the reality that we're perceiving around us. That too is being given to us as an opportunity to see our thoughts and ideas that we're focusing on being manifest, so that we can choose differently, so that we can become more powerful creators. So when we start to focus on faith, what we're doing is making choices of the thoughts that we're going to focus on, knowing that we can create our reality or influence our reality, knowing that our reality is not set in stone, so we make our choices despite what reality is showing us. And we actually, even though we might not be perfect at it and we might not be making the choice that we want to all the time, we can go back and we'll choose again. And we'll say, that's not what I wanted to choose. I wanted to choose this. So it becomes our focus, if you like. It becomes our priority to take personal responsibility for our frequency, because we know that it's our frequency that attracts our reality to us. So when we start to step down this path, as we continue to focus more and more on positive, light, faith, love, peace, joy, compassion, we actually become what might be called more trustworthy with our creative abilities. So as we become more trustworthy and we're actually putting out the right frequency as to what, the God universe wants to create, we get given more creative power. And so therefore we start using our imagination. We start, trying to influence and input into our life and reality and what it looks like, both individually and collectively. And then as we step into our creative power, the most amazing thing starts to happen. What starts to happen is that our purpose starts unfolding. It starts being revealed to us step by step. Our purpose can only be revealed to us when we are healed or are healing and have enough positive frequency to be able to fulfill our purpose, which is in some way to serve, because we cannot serve others until we have served ourselves. Now, if you're interested in that concept, I actually put a video out a little while ago on positive service to self, and I'll just put a link to that, because I think that a lot of us tend to focus on serving others without actually doing our own work. Because unless we do our own work, unless we focus on ourselves and discovering our creative abilities and our purpose, we can't help anybody else. So to me, this is a really clear way of understanding how we work out what our life purpose is. We have to actually make the choice that we want to raise our frequency and know that we're creators and know that we can influence this reality around us, and it is just an illusion that can change. And as we do that more and more, we become more and more powerful creators, and then we know what our life purpose is. And I can guarantee it's not what you think it's going to be. It's always a surprise. It unfolds in every moment, and every time we choose differently, we get another little glimpse of it, and it builds into this beautiful picture, and it morphs and it changes. So it's really important not to have expectations about what you think your purpose is, because honestly, it can change on a moment by moment basis, depending on who you're with, what you're doing, where you are. And if you choose to focus on the higher frequency vibration of faith and love, then everything that you will be given in the moment will be to help serve others to be able to do the same.